Hello, this Weekend Handicapper. In this video, we are going to look at how to play the pick three in horse racing. Now, before we do though, if you like these kind of videos and you want some videos on how to help you make money betting on thoroughbred horse races, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Weekend Handicapper YouTube channel. And hit that notification bell so you can get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you make money on thoroughbred horse races. All right, let's discuss the pick three, the wonderful wager, the pick three. I would say in terms of difficulty, once you master or strive to master, the win bet, if you play place and show or across the board, I guess you can put those in there. Then you go on to the exact and daily double bets. Then I would say the pick threes right after the daily double and exact as far as the exotic wagers go in terms of difficulty. All right, so in this video, we are going to look at the reasons to bet the pick three, how to calculate the cost of pick three tickets, and pick three tips and strategies. All right, so why should you bet the pick three? Well, it's affordable. Used to, once upon a time, before my time actually, the pick three was available in like $2 increments. I think some places like Southern California, I'm pretty sure you could bet, or the only way you could bet the minimum was like $3 minimum in increments. So each combination would cost you $3. But most was like $2 increments was the minimum. And then it became a $1 increment. Now we see 50-cent pick threes as the minimum. That's fairly common today in North America. 50-cent increments is the minimum that you can bet. But you can bet on up to $1, whatever your bankroll allows. So it's affordable, which means it allows more people to participate. Now, there are some cons with that. Your serious handicappers will tell you that, a lot of times the pools get saturated by these lower increments. But to the average person just starting out wagering on horses, it allows them, if you don't have a big bankroll, to be able to participate and try to cash a pick three ticket. They're also rolling. So what rolling means is they start every race. Of course, naturally, not the last couple races. You got to have 3 races to make a pick three, of course. But every race, say race 1, race 2, you're going to have a new pick three starting. So if you get knocked out of one race, you can start up a new pick three at the very following race. So they're always rolling, which is good. That means you have a lot to choose from, a lot to play. And it's achievable. It's not as hard. Yeah, it's hard to pick 3 winners in a row of horse races. It's very hard, actually, but it's not as hard as pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s, jackpot, pick 6, all those kind of bets. So it's very achievable. So you will see some consistent results if you play them. If you're a pretty decent handicapper and pretty good with your money management, it's very achievable that you will cash quite a few pick threes while you're playing the horses. So those are some reasons to bet the pick three. Cost, the fact that there's so many of them offered, and you should, in time, cash a good number of them. All right, so let's talk about how to get good at playing pick threes. I like pick threes. I remember when I was first learning how to handicap and I wanted something more than just betting on exact as daily doubles in the win bet. I decided to get pretty good at pick threes, and there is some instances that they rewarded me pretty well. It's hard to make a killing. I'm not going to promise you that from pick threes, but It's very, very common you're going to be cashing, depends on your increments, at least $50 and up. You'll be in the hundreds of dollars very routinely if you get good at playing pick threes and find the right races. Now, what I'm going to tell you, though, is super important. And this is a principle of handicapping that I think should be employed no matter what bet you do. And that is to get very specific and very picky. So in the terms of pick threes, you just don't want to play any pick three. You don't want to just say, oh, a pick three is offered this race, so I need to start a pick three. You need to figure out and find 3 consecutive races that you like. Not just any 3 consecutive races, but 3 consecutive races that you like. If you don't like betting turf races and you never have any luck with turf races, do not play a pick three that involves a turf race. If you hate first-time starters, you think it's a crapshoot, anybody's ball game with those baby races and first-time starters, why in the world would you play a pick three that involved a first-time starter races and 2-year-old races? That makes no sense. There's so many opportunities out there that you do not have to regulate yourself to playing those sequences. So find 3 consecutive races that you like. And a lot of tracks, yeah, it's going to be hard to find 3 races without running into a turf race. But some tracks don't even have turf. Don't even have a turf course as part of their track layout. So it is possible. So that brings me to be patient and picky. Right? Just because they're rolling doesn't mean you have to play them anytime that they're offered. Be patient, search out those races that you like, that you're good at, and play that sequence. That's where you need to spend your money on pick threes. So find 3 consecutive races that you like, that you have an opinion in, and be patient and picky until those come along, and play to your strengths. If you don't like turf races, if you don't like baby races, first-time starters, then stay away from them. Wait till later on, or another track, or another day to play a pick three. And do not include more than 1 race favorite in your sequencing. The pick three, like I said, doesn't pay boxcars. And your only chance of getting a decent payout that is more than the cost of your ticket a lot of times is not including of favorites. So it's okay, in my opinion, to have at least 1 favorite out of the 3. 0 favorites would be great, but that would be hard to do since favorites win 1/3 of thoroughbred horse racing around North America. But at least limit yourself to including 1 race favorite in there in your pick three sequence. All right, how to calculate the cost of a pick three. This is pretty simple. We have to go back to elementary school and do some, if we know how to multiply, we can get this. So you multiply the number of horses that you use in each race, and then you multiply that number by the increment that you will bet. So our example here, if in the first leg of a pick three, you're playing 2 horses, in the second leg, remember legs mean in horse racing, for those that are new to horse racing, legs mean races. So in the first race, you choose 2 horses. In the second race or the second leg, you choose 3 horses. And in the third leg, you just use 1 horse. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. And if you play for $1, the cost of that ticket would be $6. That's how you calculate the cost of the pick three ticket. So you want to get good at that, right? Because you want to maybe use them in different increments, which we'll talk about here pretty soon. But don't load up on a lot of horses. And if you do, maybe on Breeders' Cup Day you can. You want to know how to calculate the cost of the ticket so you know what you're looking at. Of course, if you played a 50-cent increment, we still have the same number, 2 times 3 times 1. That's 6. You just divide 6 by 2 because 50 cents is half of a dollar, so that would result in $3. Now I did put this right here, so if you ever are looking for a pretty nice calculator that calculates your wagers and your bets as far as horse racing is concerned, that's a pretty good one. America's Best Racing. Just Google gambling calculator, horse racing calculator, and that should pop up in Google. But all your ADWs online, your advanced deposit wagering, such as Twinspires, ExpressBet, Keeneland Select, Naira Bets, all those should calculate your bets for you. Just don't hit send, all right, till you're happy and or expect to pay that wager. So, but America's Best Racing gambling calculator is pretty good if you want to just play around with the different costs. All right, so let's talk about smart tickets. And these 2 bullet points you see here can not only are applied to pick 3s, but they could be applied to any wager. Pick 4, pick 5s, exacta combinations. You always, in horse racing, you want to bet a little to win a lot. That's the beauty of horse race. That's why it has such an advantage on other gambling games that you can consistently win at. You can bet a little and you can get a lot other than even money in return for your investment, for your wager. So always be looking to bet a little to win a lot, and bet in different increments. So let's explain some of this. We want to leave out the favorite. You want to beat the favorite. And this is super important. You always want to try to beat the favorite, because if you have nothing but favorites that win each of your legs, each of the races of your pick 3, is not going to pay anything. And you'll be lucky to get your money back of the cost of the ticket. Why break even or make $4 or $5 profit on a pick 3? That makes no sense. You could have did that on a win bet. So always try to beat the favorite. And what's more is, if you can beat the favorite out of your first leg or the first race, you're going to have a huge advantage. It's going to pay a lot more. So what I always do is try to start a pick 3. Since they're rolling, which means they start all the time, pretty much in every race except the last 2 races on a race card. Always start your pick 3 by beginning in a race that you are trying to beat the favorite. When I say beat the favorite, typically I mean leave out the favorite. I don't even put the favorite on my ticket. So I have a vulnerable favorite or not a clear-cut winner. That's the race I start my pick 3 in, because those pay a lot better than a pick 3 does that starts out the sequence with the favorite winning. It's amazing the difference in payouts and prices. So that's a great strategy. That bullet point alone will make you some pretty good returns. So start your pick 3 with a race that you do not include the favorite, or at least try to beat the favorite with other horses. If you do that, you're going to be off to a good start on your pick 3 ticket. And then beat or leave out favorites in 2 of the 3 legs. Needless to say, if you can not have any favorites win in your pick 3s, that's when it pays the most. And then you should be looking at least $100, couple $100 easily. Depends on the odds, of course. But get those favorites out of there. That's the name of the game. Beat it, leave it out of the first leg, the first race, and overall, at least not include a favorite in 2 of the 3 legs. You have to be picky. Can't stress that enough. Yeah, they don't come by that often. So that's why you need to be picky and patient. Okay? So those 2 bullet points right there is going to work wonders, trust me, when you're playing pick 3s. All right, so let's learn how to construct smart pick 3 tickets. Here's a common one that we see all the time. New people to the track, even people who've been around a while, still bet this combination. No 3x3x3 tickets. That means 3 horses in each of your legs. And that equals $27 if you're playing a dollar increment. Unless those 3 horses in each of those legs are decent odds, to me that's 5 to 1 or more, then you run the risk of not getting your money back, or you barely make a profit. If you have a horse that's 10 to 1, might as well bet that horse to win. If you're going to surround that horse in a pick 3, that 10 to 1 horse, with favorites. What a lot of handicappers that are struggling to make money betting on horses do, they put the top 3 wagering choices in each ticket. So you would have like the favorite and the first, second, third wagering, and each leg is made up of that, and that's $27. That's probably going to be the most overbet, the most common tickets that they're going to be out there, and then it's not going to pay anything. So you got to start thinking different from the crowd. So if you do 3x3x3, make sure those 3 horses that you are using in each of those races, in each of those legs, are horses that most of your competition, which is the wagering public, is not using them. So try not to get that. If you're just learning how to play pick 3s, try not to get in the habit of playing 3x3x3s unless they're decent price horses. You're going to be better off in the long run and profit a lot more money than you would. Are you going to win as many pick 3s? Nope. But this is all about, to me, it's all about winning money. It's not about how many times we can cash a ticket. I can cash a ticket, show bets, all day long, but if one person has a win bet on a long shot, all they did was get one race right. Here, I've been getting all kinds of races right. They're going to have more money than me when all's said and done. So do not fall in the trap of doing the common 3x3x3 with obvious contenders for $27 if you play for $1. All right, so leave out those favorites and resist making tickets just to stay alive. You hear this a lot when handicappers are playing pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s. Might as well, if you're ever going to get to that point where you're firing away at pick 4s, pick 5s, and pick 6s, might as well start small here with this pick 3 and learn the ropes, and don't make tickets just to stay alive, which means I need to include a favorite here in my first race because I just want to be alive to the second race to keep moving, survive in advance. Not in pick 3s. It ain't going to be worth your while. Chuck those favorites. Yeah, chuck the favorites, or you could say something that rhymes with chuck those favorites too, but I try to keep it YouTube friendly. But yeah, leave the favorites out. Don't worry about staying alive. Roll the dice. Try to beat the favorites in that first leg, and if not all legs, so you can have a nice paying ticket. All right, so make multiple tickets. All right, I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a little bit. And then bet in different increments based on your strongest opinions. Because if you do that, you can win 2 or 3 times. Or if your top picks come in and you put, I'll just show you. I don't want to spoil it. All right, here we go. Here's a smart ticket example. I use this all the time, and works really well for me. I learned this in a book by James Quinn, who's, if you ever get to read any of his handicapping books, he wrote back in the 80s and 90s. Even in the 2000s, I think he had, well, I know he had some. I read them. But this is a pretty good strategy. So I credit Mr. James Quinn, who I learned this from probably in 2004, 2005, and been using it ever since, and it works. So basically, you're looking at 3 tickets here. Remember that one ticket I was ranting on about the 3x3x3. Can you imagine if you bet a horse if you bet a race, you don't bet 3 horses to win. I would hope not, unless they're all really good prices. So it makes no sense to bet every single race 3 by 3 by 3. That's another reason I can't stand that. So take some stands and bet smart. Make some smart tickets. So here's some smart tickets. So say ticket 1, race 7, we have, these are our horses, the number 1, number 2, number 3. If one of those horses wins, and then the number 1 horse wins in race 8, and then we made it this far, and hopefully the number 1, 2, or 3 horse wins in race 9, we hit the pick 3. All right, so that's ticket 1. All right, and then you can use those, what I showed you earlier on how to calculate the cost of this ticket, too. So ticket 2, if the number 2 horse wins, because that's my top pick, or the one I think has the most value that others might not bet, I get through that leg. And if the 1, 4, 6 win, race 8, and the 1, 2, or 3 win race 9, then I hit the pick 3. Then ticket 3, a separate ticket, I need the 1, 2, or 3 to win, just like I did on ticket 1. I need the 1, 4, 6 to win, just like I needed on ticket 2. And I need the number 9, or excuse me, in race 9, I need the number 3 to win, right? Because that's my top pick here. So my top picks in each of these tickets would be race 8, number 1, and race 7, number 2 is my top pick, which I singled on my ticket 2. And ticket 3 on race 9 is the number 3 horse. I singled that horse. All right? Now, check this out. What happens if my top picks win on those really good days, win each race? So my top pick in wins here in race 7 would be the 2, the 1 in race 8, and the 3. Then I would hit 3 times. I would hit the pick 3 times on 3 separate tickets. Now, that's an awesome strategy. I can also hit 2 times, right? If 2 of my top picks win, I can hit 2 out of the 3 tickets. So this structure gives you multiple chances to win the pick 3. And what's even better, you want to base, and again, this is a principle that you're going to use on exacta combinations, daily doubles. If you go on to bet pick 4s, pick 5s, use your opinion, back your opinion by more money, by more increments. So the second bullet point here, bet your top picks. So if my top picks were 2, 1, 3, remember, we would cash 3 separate tickets. If we had the 2, see that? The 2's in each of these, on these tickets. The number 1, again, 3 times. And race 9, the 3 would be my top pick. I would cash 3 tickets. Not only that, I would have another ticket in $5 increments because that's my strongest opinion. That's what I think is going to happen in each of those races. So don't ever make tickets out or combinations. You always want to get in the habit. That's why, for the most part, boxing is not the best strategy. It can be used to good effect many times, but your preference is to put more money that backs your stronger opinions. All right, so in this sequence, my strongest opinion would be horse number 2 in race 7, horse number 1 in race 8, and horse number 3 in race 9. And I'm going to back up my opinion, let's say, for $5. So I would hit the pick 3 5 times if that came true, if I was right. So get in the habit of creating multiple tickets, or at least consider it, because in the long run, it's going to win you some money. A lot more than just playing 3 by 3 by 3 or 3 by 2 by 3, anything like that. and base those tickets on your opinions, and then bet those opinions in different increments based on how confident you are. All right, so to sum up, pick threes are a wonderful bet. They're bankroll friendly now that we have smaller increments to bet. They're offered all the time. There's plenty of them out there. And if you get knocked out of a sequence, you can start another one up usually. Keep them rolling. So the rolling pick threes. And then construct smart tickets based on opinions, back those opinions by different increments, and seriously think about structuring multiple tickets, because if you're right, you're going to get rewarded multiple times. So if you like these kind of videos, think about subscribing to Weekend Handicapper here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, that like button if you like this video. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Weekend Handicapper. I would love to hear about your all's pick three strategies and success stories. If you got them, leave them in the comments below. If you like pick threes, if so, why? Have you had any luck? And how do you usually play them? Always love hearing from fellow horse players who share this passion and this joy of betting on horses like I do. So hopefully this video has helped you. Try to use some of these strategies and tips next time you're playing horses. I think they're going to help you out. Pick three is wonderful. Pick three is wonderful. It's a good way to start getting a little fancy and a little exotic with your wagering. And I think it can bring you some nice profits if you play them in a smart way. Speaking of smart, please, please, please enjoy this wonderful game of thoroughbred horse racing. And until next time, happy handicapping and smart wagering.